Alright, you can free the plebs. You can free the plebs for this.
Since the dawn of the internet, data sharing across various mediums has been commonplace in many households around the world. Allowing everybody to become interconnected within a vast sea of endless information was absolutely inconceivable just a few short decades ago, definitely becoming something that we take for granted today, whether we realize it or not. Within this vast sea of surface-level internet content, an underbelly exists that harbors some of the darkest videos, images, posts, stories, and real-life situations that people have documented online. These, for the most part, are largely hidden away from those that refrain from doing a little digging. But luckily for you, tonight we're going to explore 5 of them that I've recently come across. Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. This is a showcase series of various disturbing finds that I've stumbled upon online in the last few months. If you're new, this is part 8, so if you haven't yet, definitely go check out volumes 1 through 7 after this video.
Thank
With
God
that
we're
out of
past
the way,
7. Thank
get
God.
comfortable, because it's time, once again, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from around
Chat,
the
zoom out,
internet.
zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Gavin, thanks for the 2 months. Chat, please zoom out. Please fucking just zoom out.
Number 1 on our list involves an upload by a user named Avalesser60. In July of 2011, they would post a video titled, "Dog Sees Ghost." At just 4 minutes long, the upload involves a woman that went to the kitchen late at night to grab a snack. On the way back to her room, she noticed her dog standing at the end of the hallway, staring at something and absolutely refusing to come to her, no matter what. At this point, she pulls her phone out to begin filming, realizing that something isn't right here.
What? Dude, Zoe's literally done this.
Can you come over here now? Come here, Smooch. Come on. Can you come here? Come here, Smooch.
Just go.
It's okay. It's okay. Come on. It's okay. It's okay, come on.
Bro, dude, Zoe does this.
It's okay, come on. Come here, come on, Mommy. Come on. Smooch, come on. It's okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here.
What the fuck? Okay, I get for a few
After
seconds.
a couple minutes of this, she eventually begins yelling out, "Leave my dog alone," convinced that she's accompanied by some sort of entity that's preying on her dog. Standing firm, she continues to convince it to come to her.
Good. I opened your cabinet for you. Come on.
Just walk over here, walk over there.
Come on.
Maybe it's
Come on, baby.
the light bulb.
Come on. Leave my dog alone.
It's the fucking
Come
nightlight.
on. It's okay. Come on. Come on, Smooch. Come. 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 Come.
What?
Like we just saw at the end, the dog never ends up following her command, ultimately retreating around the corner. The comments on this video are surprisingly sparse. Some were drawing parallels to their strange experience with their pets, while others were attempting to rationalize the situation. One commenter claimed that this wasn't the work of any sort of ghost at all, but rather, the dog was scared of the black box at the edge of the frame, or what it presumed to be a shadow in the kitchen. Now, in a way this makes sense, but they're hell-bent on staying on their side of the hallway at all costs. Dogs generally know their homes pretty well. What about this box or shadow would freak it out so much here? Also, we can notice that the dog stares up at the top right corner for most of the video, which makes it seem like whatever it's scared of isn't exactly on or near the floor. Nonetheless, the video is strange, and at just over 1.5 thousand views in nearly 8 years, it definitely deserves some more insight. This dog saw something. What that something is, exactly, is unclear, and it might sit that way for good.
That's... He just said that like it has 1 million views. He just said 1,000 like it has that's 1 million.
This second entry comes from a YouTube video that gained major traction a couple years ago. Over on the channel by the name of Jitu Kumar, a video was posted on October 1st of 2017, titled, Bital Woman Viral Video. This centers around a mysterious lady from the Bital village and carries with it an insane amount of questions. The video in question is 7 minutes long, and here we can see a shot of a woman in a white robe sitting in a tree. Nothing really all that out of the ordinary. For the next couple minutes, we can see her making her way up to the top, still relatively normal. Perhaps she's doing some sort of show or just enjoys climbing trees. Really, to each their own. The video begins to get strange though when you begin to take a look around the cameraman. Many are filming, which begins to drive home the idea that something just isn't right here. Around the 4-minute mark, something incredibly bizarre happens. She finally makes her way to the top and just stands there, motionless.
Yo.
What's blowing my mind about this entire thing, first and foremost,
fire,
is how
though.
she's managing to keep her balance all the way at the top of this large tree on such a small branch. It doesn't seem to bow, and it doesn't look like she has any support to keep her so still.
Nah, she's
So what's
holding
going on?
Dude,
Incredibly
she's-
curious about the context here, I dug through the comments, but this didn't lead very far. Some were simply writing this off as totally fake, while others, like myself, were trying to get some backstory. What I was able to find though was a video by a channel called Viral V. They posted this footage as well, and made the claim that this woman was doing this because she was possessed by a spirit.
Oh.
Now, I wasn't able to find any definitive proof of this claim, and it could very easily
Bro,
be
she
written
was
off
just
as mere
chilling, climbing
dramatization.
trees. I used to do that.
Itching for something more definitive, I did some more digging on
Yes, I
this
broke
woman
into
in a tree
branches, but
phenomenon,
I
and
sometimes
found a few
made
other
it, like,
videos
high
of
up.
various people doing the exact same thing, all with crowds surrounding them, cheering them on, and filming. This leads me to the assumption that this has to be some sort of ritual. Unfortunately, information about said ritual is incredibly sparse online, so this is merely another theory. Nonetheless, the woman ended up making it back down safely. Whether this was the work of a demonic possession or a sort of rite of passage, this footage is bizarre, and to this day, remains cloaked in mystery.
How is that demonic at all? Like, that's not at all demonic. She just climbed a tree. I feel like now that we're in part 8, he's kind of trying to stretch some shit, you know? He's
In August
kinda...
of 2013, a Florida man named Derek Medina and his wife Jennifer Alfonso were going about their lives after becoming recently remarried. Unbeknownst to most that knew them though, their marriage would soon begin to take an extremely grim turn.
This Florida? Oh, this is
On
gonna be
August
bad.
8th, Derek would post a sudden Facebook
This is gonna be
status. From his cell phone at about 8 p.m. that night, he would go forth to say this. I'm going to prison or death sentence for killing my wife. Love you guys, miss you guys, take care Facebook, you'll see me in the news. My wife was punching me and I'm scared. I'm not going to stand anymore with the abuse, so I did what I did. I hope you understand me. Fittingly, his Facebook friends were shocked. Was this some sort of joke? A hoax? Was he hacked?
Fuck.
Not quite, as soon after this post went live, he'd contact his relatives, explain to them what happened, change clothes, and head over to the police station to turn himself in. During the initial investigation, authorities caught sight of security cameras that Medina had put up in their home. After confiscating that and going over the footage, we're able to see, firsthand, what actually played out that night.
I'm gonna cover this just in case. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, do you want me to play by play? Just say it. I'm gonna play by play it. I'm gonna play by play it. Just in case. Okay. Opens up. It's you see a side angle of a kitchen and she's doing the dishes. She's putting soap on some plates right now. Okay. She's doing dishes. He walks in from the left. I don't see anything. Okay, she's I think slapped him. Derek retrieves to get a weapon. Derek fires a weapon. Oh shit! Don't say bang! Derek leaves and returns with phone. Takes a picture of the body. He puts on a hoodie. And then he leaves and just goes to the police station. That's it. He fucking just killed her and then was like, alright, I'm out. One hour later, police arrive. Now the police are walking into the house.
You might notice in that video that after the smoke flies up from the gunshots, he leaves the room before returning to take a second look at her. This wasn't just to take a second look. Remember that Facebook status that I mentioned prior from Derek? He posted another one as well at around the same time. In this other post by him, we're able to see his deceased wife slumped back. The caption that he attached to this was a grim, R.I.P. Jennifer Alfonso. Since this happened, Derek Medina had, like we established, turned himself in. Interestingly though, he pled in self-defense, claiming that she charged at him with a knife. Because of this claim and the results of the investigation, he was convicted of second-degree murder and ultimately was sentenced to life in prison. Across the internet, you're able to find more surveillance videos of what actually went on behind closed doors in their home. These are hard to watch, but ultimately reveal that the domestic struggles that the two faced in their relationship were probably more common than we think.
Wait. So how does that work, chat? He still got life in prison even though she tried to kill him and it's self-defense? Like, she charged him with a knife? But I guess when they went to court and then they showed the clips of them fighting the domestic abuse, it was probably like, they somehow probably proved in court that maybe he started fights with her and this wasn't like a random thing, like, oh, she went crazy, she was gonna kill it. Like, there could be ways to put it, but he lied. Dude, the fact that he took a picture of her and put it on Facebook, that right there should show you that he's like insane. And that right there, like that, he needs to go to jail. He cannot be a free man. If he maybe didn't do all that shit and he called the cops and then turned himself in, maybe you could say like self-defense. But dude, bro, you're posting pictures of someone you just murdered.
On February 21st, 2018, in a northwest Dallas suburb, 2 house fires would occur in a residential neighborhood. These were later determined to be linked to a natural gas pipeline that runs straight through the community. 2 days later, a third incident would play out just around the corner. On February 23rd, the Rogers family's lives would be forever changed when a natural gas explosion would occur within their home. Ominously, the moments leading up to this were actually documented by their 12-year-old daughter, Michelita. According to the Rogers family, she was recording iPhone videos early that morning for fun, goofing off and sharing her excitement as she got ready for a cheerleading event later that day.
I'm gonna get ready for the NCA, National Cheerleaders Association, today. So I'm gonna start with here, turn on my lamp because I don't want to turn on all of the lights. So I went ahead and...
Chad, I'm not gonna lie, I just said to answer a text, and I didn't hear what the guy said before this video.
Moments leading up to this were actually documented by their 12-year-old daughter, Michelita. According to the Rogers family, she was recording iPhone videos early that morning for fun, goofing off and sharing her excitement as she got ready for a cheerleading event later that day.
No!
Get ready for the NCA, National Cheerleaders Association, today. So I'm gonna start with here, turn on my lamp because I don't want to turn on all of the lights. So I went ahead and connected my straightener, and I still
RIP in the chat. Alright, just put a RIP in the chat.
Iron. And
This is so
got
sad.
halfway started doing the braid.
After this, she would proceed to make a time lapse of the next few minutes as she got ready. The first few seconds of this seemed pretty ordinary, and there was absolutely no implication that anything had gone awry. Until one frame,
No.
when the camera goes dark.
Wait, a guess? Wait, what was it? What did they say? Guess what? Was it an explosion or a fire? Oh, it was an explosion. Dude, this is literally why I didn't want to watch these videos. Like, I know it's not TOS, I know, but it's just so fucked, dude. This is literally fucked. Why was she filming, like, as this... How did they get these videos?
This gas explosion had led to the passing of Michelita and the injury of her parents and brother. According to her mother, who was out of the room, this happened out of nowhere while she was asleep. Once it happened and she came to, her and her husband rushed over to their daughter to find her stuck under dresser drawers. After getting her out, they rushed her outside to firefighters who laid her on the ground, as she, at the time, was still alive. In the moments during this, her mother would whisper to her in Spanish, "Fight like a warrior," confident that she got the message. After being rushed to the hospital, about a half hour later, she was pronounced dead by doctors who claimed that her internal injuries were simply too severe. The explosion had decimated their house, causing the roof to cave in and for it to sit
what
to this day.
is that? A natural gas explosion? What the fuck is that? Now I'm scared as fuck. Like, our stove was making a weird smell the other day. Like, how do you even know if this could happen? Like, four natural gas explosion on the same block within 2 days. Yeah, bro, that's not natural gas. Like, someone fucked up. Someone did something, bro. The city? Yeah, bro, that's something with the city, bro.
Day in ruin. Since this haunting event, Michelita has become one of 9 people to have died by natural gas leaks in North Texas since 2006. Since this, her mother has spoken out, claiming that it hasn't gotten easier. Some days, I don't feel the damage in my body. I feel the pain in my heart. A lawsuit was later filed against Atmos Energy, who were in the neighborhood replacing aging steel pipes during the days leading up to and on the date of her passing. Apparently, the neighborhood that they lived in was long neglected by the company, leading to the onslaught of gas-related incidents in the area. While the company has denied the claims, the lawsuit is still pending. The passing of Michelita is undoubtedly something that no family should ever have to endure. She fought like a warrior, but seeing as she was at the very epicenter of this blast, not shielded by any walls or barriers, her life had come to an end in one of the most tragic ways imaginable.
Fucking bullshit. Bro, did my moon go out? What just happened?
A widow named Sandra Harold and her pet chimpanzee, Travis, have lived together in Stamford, Connecticut since 1995. Having raised him with her late husband since he was just days old,
it's a monkey!
Sandra often referred to Travis as more of a son than a pet. They'd often bring him along to work and his shopping trips around town, and having been socialized around humans for his entire life, the Harolds maintained a growing trust in what they believed to be his extremely calm and well-trained demeanor.
I looked up from my phone, I was like, oh my god, like that was just
on
a
the night
first reaction.
of February 16th, 2009, this notion would be thrown into a tailspin when a friend by the name of Charla Nash would visit them. At around the same time she'd arrived, Travis had gotten a hold of Sandra's car keys and left the house. Noticing that Charla was holding a Tickle Me Elmo, Travis's favorite toy, he brutally attacked her, latching his hands onto her face and pulling it apart, piece by piece. At this point, Sandra would grab a butcher knife and run out to begin stabbing him in an attempt to get him to stop. This ended up being futile though, as it only made him angrier. Since this was the case, Sandra rushed back to grab the phone. She dialed 911.
I've heard of this.
In a desperate plea, manically described the situation as it was unfolding in front of her.
I heard of this. It's a phone call.
For 911, where's your emergency?
This is Sandy. 241 Rock Rimmon Road.
What's the problem?
Send the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chip killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
Please hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
Yes. He ripped her apart. Hurry up.
With a gun.
Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
With guns, please. You shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey's...
He ripped her face off.
He ripped her face off?
He's trying to attack me. Please,
Okay,
hurry.
I need you to calm down a little bit. They're on the way. Can you put yourself away? I don't want the monkey attacking you.
Please, hurry up. Listen to me.
They're on the way, ma'am.
Guns. They gotta shoot him, please. Please, hurry. Please tell him. Please tell him to kill him, please.
They did, Sandra. They're shooting at him already, okay?
But he's not dead.
I know. They will continue until he's dead, okay? I just need you to stay on the phone with me and breathe.
He's not dead. He's not dead. He's not dead. Oh, God.
When the police arrived, Travis, after engaging with the officers, was shot numerous times, which resulted in his death. As for Carla, her face was completely ripped off, and she was immediately rushed to the hospital, where she underwent over 7 hours of surgery on her face and hands. According to medics, she lost her hands, nose, eyes, lips, mid-face bone structure, and maintained significant brain injuries. A few weeks later, it was announced that she'd be blind for life. Afterwards, she was offered the opportunity to undergo experimental transplant surgery due to the extreme nature of her injuries, and this seemed to be successful. Until later, when her body began to reject them, resulting in her undergoing even more corrective surgery. According to toxicology reports, shortly before this incident, Travis had been given a mixture of prescribed Xanax and tea in Sandra's attempt at treating his Lyme disease. This is widely believed to be the cause of his manic episode, as the drug causes paranoia and hallucinations in chimpanzees. In 2009, the Nash family would file a $50 million lawsuit against Sandra Harold. A year later, though, at age 72, Harold would pass away due to a ruptured aortic aneurysm. Because of this, the Nash family ended up reaching a settlement with Harold's estate, which was valued at about $4 million.
Why did she have $4 million?
Charla Nash is, to this day, still undergoing recovery efforts from the attack. What played out on the night of February 16th, 2009 is incredibly tragic and will undoubtedly remain in the back of her mind.
You gave a monkey Xanax? First of all, don't do drugs, okay? Don't do fucking drugs. Don't do pills. Just say that. Don't do pills. Okay? Don't do pills. But dude, like, what did you think was gonna happen when you give a monkey a combination of pills? I mean, I guess you just didn't know. The fact that they're like, oh, it's known to, like, cause paranoia in monkeys, like, how would any human know that? How the fuck would anyone know that? This is just a horrible situation, dude. And then she died of an aneurysm a year later. That's just the most tragic, like, that whole situation is tragic.
The rest of her life.
It's not even, dude, it's not even Travis's fault. It's not Travis's fault. It's not, he's not the one making decisions. She gave Travis the pills. It's not his fault. He didn't know.
The internet is a beautifully enigmatic place. All over it, we're able to find oddities buried within its darkest corners, and tonight, we've touched on 5 of them.
Hey, I mean, thank God she didn't die,
Thank you so much
man.
for joining
I mean,
me in this
lived.
8th installment of Disturbing Things from
lived.
Around the Internet. If you know of any other bite-sized discoveries that you'd like to see on a future installment, definitely throw them my way on Twitter
Part
or
9.
via email. With that being said, thanks once again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all. And
Is
good
there
night.
a part 9? Oh, there is a part 9. All right, let me see where let me see if Matt's coming back. I'm gonna see if Matt's okay. You okay? Alright, let's play this. Part 9. That one wasn't that... I mean, dude, none of these have TOS in it. But at the same time, it's like... Okay, Matt is good. Matt's good. It's just like, dude, it's just fuck shit. It's just fucked up shit. Alright, let's go. Part 9. Hold on, bro. I just saw a pleb type W killer monkey. You're fucking permaban, dude. Let me read your messages before I ban you. W monkey link. Oh, he said a hard F. How did he not get banned? He dropped a hard F. You're permaban, dude. Yeah, Matt, after this video, I think I'm gonna play 2K so we can do videos.
If you're like me, then you love spending a good Friday night with a drink or snack in hand, binging some creepy websites, videos, and online posts that you might dig up.
I don't do this.
While we know damn well that these will creep us out and or keep us up all night, there's something about it that's so incredibly captivating that we endlessly subject ourselves to this spooky torture.
Dude, when I was younger, someone sent me a link on AIM Messenger, AIM. If you know, you know. That means you're above the age of 20. They sent me a link, and I was like, oh, what's this? Click on it. It's a guy in a woods getting stabbed. And dudes were filming it. It was a guy, they threw him down the woods, and he was literally just getting stabbed to death. And it was on some website called, like, Leak or some shit. Some weird shit. It was some bootleg YouTube. And I was, like, fucking scarred for life. What was it? 2 guys, 1 hammer. That's what it was, bro. Don't look that up. Seriously, don't look that up. Don't even, like, as a joke, like, oh, I'm gonna go see. No, it's 2 guys, 1 hammer. I saw that. I was a kid. I think I was in, like, fucking between the ages of, like, 10 and 13. Maybe I was 9 or 13. I don't know.
Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet, your one-stop shop for bite-sized and unnerving finds that I've stumbled upon in the last few months. We're on episode 9 now, so if you're craving some more content after this, go check out the playlist on my channel for the 8 other videos from this series to endure. It's time, on this October night, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from around the internet. There's a subreddit called r/ghosts that I've been subscribed to for a while now. Most of the content on there typically falls into the category of an orb picture, a video that shows dust flying past a camera, or a testimonial of something out of the ordinary that might have happened to someone. Occasionally, however, things will pop up on there that legitimately freak me out, and such was the case here. On June 30th, a user named EnigmasLight209 made a post. Years ago, my sister had a Dora doll that she really loved that could move its head electronically. However, we never put batteries in it because at the time we couldn't afford a lot of stuff. My mom caught my sister singing and playing with the doll, not even noticing that the doll turns its head to look at her. Attached here is a video that's 33 seconds long. In it, we can see the bizarre phenomenon that they'd experienced. Have a look.
What the fuck? I'm calling fucking bullshit on this. I'm calling fucking bullshit on this. She took the batteries out of the remote. She took the batteries out the remote. That's it. That's fucking bullshit.
According to the OP, this video was filmed by
bullshit.
their mother. Apparently, she thought the singing was cute and whipped her phone out to record. It was only at the moment when the mom finally showed the dad that the weird movement was noticed. In this comment, they explain, While I have no way to show credibility other than my word, I'll add a bit of info. My mom and sister were the only ones home at the time, and my mom thought my sister was really cute singing and stuff. When my dad came home, my mom showed him the video of her, and he was the one to notice its movement. He's actually the one who recorded the video I posted in this post. As for the doll, he threw it away that same night. Now, if there's one thing I've learned from running this channel, it's to always remain a skeptic. Enigma's light definitely seems genuine here, and while I'd love to believe that we've captured some sort of ghost activity on camera, unfortunately, without concrete proof that there weren't any batteries inside of it, it's hard to completely run with their story. Regardless, the video and testimony is one of the creepier ones that I've seen online, and if their story is legitimate, then, well, it looks as if they've caught some sort of paranormal entity on camera. Good thing OP threw that doll away.
And the paranormal entity took over a Dora the Explorer doll? Okay. Okay. Stalker on the train.
Entry number 2 comes from YouTube. Back in February of 2011, a user by the name of Boog731 would begin to make a series of videos outlining an extremely odd stalking situation that they'd become wrapped up in. According to a February 12th upload, Boog claims that for several months, a guy has made it a point to sit next to him on the train, follow him from there to his car, and strike up conversations that led absolutely nowhere. After threatening legal action, he still unapologetically persisted. Apparently, this all stemmed from one simple conversation that this man, named Gerard, attempted to start with him months prior. Unbeknownst to Boog, this simple convo would result in him opening up a can of worms that would become his worst nightmare. On his channel, we see 4 videos in different situations, all surrounding Gerard following him on different days.
Maybe the guy thought they were friends.
And I have the train cars.
Eventually, Boog becomes fed up and decides to confront him directly about his incessant stalking. In the last video he took, on February 18th, he decides to make a scene in order to get the point across that he wants to be left alone. Here, the video opens up with Gerard following Boog off the train before Boog finally turns around and tells him to get back on and to stop following him.
Stay on. Gerard, stay on the fucking train. Stop following me. Sit down and stop following me. Sit down and stop following me. We're going. Sit down. We're going. Sit down. Can you get him to stop following me, please?
Okay, somebody needs to get off the train and somebody to stay on. Okay? Why are you following him?
I don't know. And serious? Still following me.
As we could see, even the efforts by the woman that helped him board a
This
different
is how
train
me and
car
Specific
were
met,
futile,
by the way.
as the second that Boog sat down and looked to the left, Gerard was staring directly at him. Unfortunately, after this point in time, the uploads regarding this seem to stop entirely. While this is so, Book did end up giving us an update after all, albeit in the form of a description update. Here, he claims this. Thank you all for the concerned and constructive comments and feedback on these stalker videos. These were recorded in 2011, and since then, this guy has disappeared. After bringing the police in on the matter, I think he got the hint and I was left alone. There are numerous other events that weirded me out, which aren't detailed in the videos, but I was lucky and was unscathed in all of my interactions. So, luckily Book was okay. Regardless though, acquiring a stalker is never a fun situation to deal with. Boog had no idea who this guy was or what he was capable of, and if he was this persistent in following him on camera, I can only imagine where else he possibly followed him when they were turned off.
That's so weird, bro. That's literally, but hey, I mean, the guy might have been confused. You never know.
On Sunday, February 10th of 2019, an extremely terrifying incident would unfold at a gas station in Hall County, Georgia. Early that morning, a couple pulled into the parking lot of a Quick Trip gas station and parked near the front door. Soon after, a man approached their vehicle before an altercation broke out, resulting in the death of the passenger inside.
What?
Eerily, when this was unfolding, bystanders were in their car recording the entire thing on Snapchat. The video that you're about to watch is about 30 seconds long and is absolutely chilling.
Dude, alright, people are spamming TOS, bro, every time, bro. Viewer description. Okay, let me watch it first and then we'll see. I'll play it if it's not. Just witnessed a homicide, just witnessed by yours truly. What the fuck?
Go how? Yo. Look, he has his gun out. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I'm not showing that, bro. That's literally a murder on camera.
Yo.
Go, bro. Drive away, bro. That's literally a murder on camera.
James Elliott Bloxham, the alleged ex-boyfriend of the driver of the vehicle, was charged with the felony murder of a man by the name of Chester Morrison. Bloxham fired the first round into Morrison's head, then 6 shots thereafter into his torso. Apparently, Bloxham chased the vehicle from Buford to Gainesville, which is about a 30-minute trip, attempting to run them off the road the entire time before this situation eventually unfolded. While it was taking place, people inside the gas station ran into the back cooler in hopes of hiding from the gunmen. Luckily, no one else was harmed in the incident, and while a motive is still unclear, it's believed to be related to a relationship that she was in with both men at the same time, though take that with a huge grain of salt. Footage like this especially unnerves me since it puts us directly in the shoes of the people that were actually there. No dramatized story, no fictional
I'm getting
detail.
freaked out. Literally thought I heard someone right behind me. It's my bat. Where the fuck is the... Yo! Where's the fucking flashlight button on my phone? It fucking disappeared. Bro, that can't happen, dude. Bro, that can't just... The fucking flashlight button can't just disappear from my home screen. Like, that can't just happen.
But a real-world look into something that can truly happen anywhere you least expect it.
Why did the light shut off, though?
afternoon.
Nice to meet you.
What?
I'm so glad you can make it here today. My name is Kaylin, founder of Scrapbooking for Everyone. I like to create scrapbooks.
In June of 2019, a man named Philip Schwab and a woman named Kaylin Blue, both from the video, were going about their engagement as usual. The two lived with Schwab's mother in Idaho Falls, Idaho, and seemed to be doing pretty well. Or so most people thought. Eerily, on the night of Saturday, June 22nd, everything would go horribly awry while Schwab's mother was away. Philip seemed to snap, or so it seemed. On his Facebook, beginning at around noon, he'd make 3 posts. What would I be doing with a shovel, bitch? How to get away with murder, twice. If stabbing people is wrong, I don't want to be right. And the next night, his posts would become even stranger. 9:01. Outside are the dogs. 9:45. You know it's coming. I'd love to stay and chat, but you are a bitch. Silent but deadly. Still smells better than you, bitch. She deserved quicker. Should have known. God backwards. Spend all day kissing ass. You know they eat dog in China. See, Don? 2 sides to every coin. Enjoying the show, Cheech? Need warm-up music. Yeah, you're next, Dad.
Dude, some people are literally psychotic. This is fucked.
Now, some might assume that he was either shitposting or being edgy. But he wasn't. After June 23rd, Kaylin seemed to disappear. She worked at Walgreens, and after missing a few shifts that week, her coworkers alerted her family members who requested that police do a welfare check. And so they did. Upon arriving to their household, Schwab promptly let them in, but they quickly realized that something was wrong. Officers claimed to discover some blood scattered around the household, and soon after, Schwab admitted that he, quote, might have hurt Kaylin. After asking for details, he escorted them to the backyard to show the spot where he buried her. Immediately after this, he was arrested, the street was closed off, and the investigation was started.
That the defendant, Philip Michael Schwab, on or about the 23rd day of June 2019 in the county of Bonneville, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with malice aforethought and premeditation, kill Kaylin Marie Blue, a human being, by stabbing her, thereby causing her death. The possible penalties are the death penalty, life imprisonment with a minimum of 10 years, $5,000 compensatory fine, and $50,000 fine along with restitution. So are you aware of that charge against you and those possible penalties?
Yeah.
Right. Now, you did not...
What was that answer?
Right. Are you aware of that charge against you and those possible penalties?
Yeah.
Right.
Is this guy doing a Donald Duck?
Are you aware of that charge against you and those possible penalties?
Yeah.
Right. Now, you did not fill out the form.
I mean, okay.
According to his confession, Kaylin apparently moves around in her sleep pretty heavily, and that night, when she routinely woke him up doing this, he proceeded to stab her in the neck.
Oh,
When it woke her up, she desperately attempted to flee to the bathroom. However, he stabbed her over and over during her attempts to get away, until she was dead.
Nice.
Afterwards, he dragged the body to the backyard, buried her, and went forth to kill their 2 dogs before dumping them into their trash cans. You might notice that all of this lines up with his cryptic Facebook posts almost perfectly. Police claim that Blue's face was still visible from beneath the dirt when they found her, and that this seemed to be a premeditated event, as Schwab also claimed that he placed the knife in his nightstand just a few days prior. The video that you saw earlier was one that the two filmed for her YouTube channel in 2016, and it's completely bizarre to watch, knowing that just 3 years later, this would play out. Kaylin confided in Philip, and almost overnight, he went from being an ordinary fiance to a sickening murderer that would likely spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Please give this guy the chair.
There's a channel on YouTube by the name of Kate Yup. Something a bit odd about Miss Yup is the fact that you can't contact her at all. Look for links in the description? Good luck. Email in the About section? Non-existent. But that isn't even the weirdest part. Allow me to establish some pretext. Kate Yup is an up-and-coming mukbang channel that's been making videos since March of 2018. Her typical style involves her wearing a mask to conceal her face while consuming ungodly amounts of food in one sitting. Now, it's pretty normal stuff in the world of mukbang, but it gets deeper. At one point, Kate made videos weekly. Now, it's monthly, if that. Her audience began picking up on her slowing upload schedule, but really didn't think much of it because it's really not that out of the ordinary. So why are we talking about her? Well, there's one video on her channel that successfully sparked a wildfire of theories, pondering if she's being held captive. In this upload, her audience began to notice things. Signs that something was awry.
Ew, what is that sauce? That looks so gross.
See it? Her arm is bruised, her lip is busted. At one point in the video, she capitalizes the letters SOS in a caption. And the most damning evidence? Morse code. Specifically spelling out the words, "Help me." Though I'm extremely skeptical on that last one.
What? Shut the fuck up.
Her audience went into a frenzy,
The bruise in
and
the
all
ma-
over the
and
world,
and the lip
commenters
is
chimed
weird.
in asking if she was okay. Interestingly though, Kate would address these comments in an extremely bizarre fashion. Not a simple, "guys I'm fine," not a quick update video, but rather, a copy and paste of a comment made about her from Reddit. It's not Morse code. That isn't even how Morse code works. It's a series of short and long pulses. Even thinking outside the box by assuming she's using one finger for long pulses and the other for short pulses, she taps 3 fingers on the ball. It's just random tapping, and there's no correlation between her tapping and the Morse code. I couldn't identify a single letter. Every other claim, aside from the bruises, is just silly. Why would a captor let her edit the videos? That doesn't even make sense. And if Joe YouTuber could spot the SOS, so would they. And if she knew enough to use SOS as a call for help, why on earth wouldn't she have tapped that on the bowl? It's the only Morse code I have memorized. Also, the bowl moves, so what? Because her hand is resting on it. It moves perfectly with the rest of her body. Finally, her lip does not look busted. It's either a cold sore, which could explain it showing up more than once, or a bad blemish. And everyone lost it. Holy shit, what the fuck? Are you okay? It's the murderer writing. Don't be fooled, everyone. So prove it with another video. And then she went dark. From June 21st onward, absolutely nothing more was posted again. At least until August 15th, but we'll get more into that in a second. Anyway, meanwhile,
Chad, how can I
Reddit ran
help?
with this, genuinely concerned that something was wrong and that she needed help. Thread after thread was made discussing various theories with this, but without any way to contact Kate at all outside of her comments section. Putting these theories to rest was futile. A lot of people were speculating that she could be held captive, forced to make these videos for a third party that's monitoring her as she records. They supported this by showing that in one of the videos, the bowl moves without her touching it, implying that, coupled with the capitalized SOS, her busted lip, and the bruised arm, this is all against her will. But was she? Or was everyone overthinking this? August 15th. I'm alive.
How is that edible?
You notice anything odd about the bolded letters in the captions? Keep that in mind. We'll come back to that in a second. Anyway, here she addresses the audience and claims that she's okay. Definitely nothing to see here, right? She is smiling after all. She then goes forth here to explain to the audience that she absolutely loves the food she's eating. Octopus tentacles, love that. Brown shrimps, so much flavor, salty and crunchy, so good. Salmon, raw of course, my first love, the butter of the oceans. But then you notice that she didn't capitalize the beginning of these. I wonder why. 002 H 007 E 752 L 1126 P. Interesting. After scrubbing through, none of the other captions contain any other capital letters, so this undoubtedly was intentional. Because of this, interest in her channel was fueled once more on Reddit and in her comments. People have postulated that she could, much like most had assumed with Marina Joyce, be forced into doing this by a captor, and motives have ranged from financial gain to her potentially being trafficked.
Chat. What the
All
fuck
in
do
all,
you want me
it's
to
hard
do
to
about
discount the
this?
stark evidence pointing to the possibility of something deeper going on here.
What the fuck do you want me to do about this?
Is a bizarrely confined channel, locked solely into the realm of YouTube, giving us absolutely no method of contacting her outside the platform. While in her latest upload, the help acrostic is the most obvious, it could simply be her playing into this newfound mystery for clicks. If she isn't, however, then we're firsthand witnessing someone that's in trouble, desperately reaching out in any way she's able in order to gain a sliver of help. The internet is somewhat of a diary for some of the most unnerving things that can ever happen in real life, and tonight, we've dug through 5 more of them. Thank you so much for joining me in this 9th installment of the series. It's insane that we're coming up on 10 episodes already, and I'd like to...
Is there a 10th?